Hi guys, it's Brother Cloud here. I just wanted to make a video on a Kelly ranged build because I had a look online and I couldn't really find many builds, especially that focus on her sort of range side. I've seen a few melee builds, which is a bit confusing because the Hunter class really, from what I can tell, inflicts more ranged weapon damage, carry more ammo, slower stamina consumption. So naturally, better at shooting, right? That's what you would think. So yeah, I'm just gonna cover her skill tree, what talents you could go for like a lot of ranged damage output. I'm just gonna assume that you're at level 25, and this is really how I just play her. That doesn't mean it's the best method. It probably could be min-max better. But lately I've been hitting like 50k, 60k plus damage every game, and the rest of my team is kind of like in that 15-20k. I got a few images to back that up, if who cares, but there you go. So at level 25 she's actually kind of a weird character, so because there are a few like passives at like 50% ranged, 50% melee, which is kind of annoying. I'll just go over her main ability, which is the slip shot. When activated, you dodge without using stamina, and your ranged attacks cause bleeding damage to your target for a short period. 60-second cooldown, 5-second duration, 20% range damage is bleed. This is good for two things. If you're in a pickle and you really need to get out of a situation, you can smash this and just smash the dodge. Or if like a boss is summoned on an objective and you're sort of sitting back, activate this to get that extra bleed damage, essentially. The meat hammer's kind of crap. If you can find it at like a purple or a legendary, if it has a legendary, I don't think I've even seen one yet. I guess you could use it, but there are better melee weapons out there for her, and I'll kind of a sword or a spade or a sledgehammer or something that packs a bit of a punch and knocks the enemy back is a better option, because then you can switch to a gun and kill them quicker, in my opinion. Counter shot. So your next range attack for a successful dodge inflicts bleeding damage on your target for a short time. So you dodge successfully. Shoot, you're gonna have to kind of sort of master the dodge a bit with a hunter character, but you'll kind of get used to that. So dodge, then you can shoot, does a bit of bleed. I don't know if it stacks with this. I'm assuming it probably does, but this is only 5 seconds anyway, so it's not it's not like you get much time. And this is another one that's kind of odd. Battle frenzy. Your melee damage increases the longer you are in sustained combat. It does pair well with this, I guess, but I still don't think it's really worth going into melee. So yeah, the skill tree. Yeah, let's start with that. So obviously your first point goes into long shot. This isn't like the best min-max. There is a couple of things I've looked at this, and there are a few changes you can make, but I'll go over that in a sec. This is vital. Put all 4 points into this. You get 25% extra damage on ranged weapons. Pretty self-explanatory. Now you could actually go. I put 1 point into this and 1 point into this to get to this. You could actually go 1, 1, and then into that if you wanted. So it's really increase dismemberment damage of ranged weapons, reduce the spread of ranged weapons, but you could also put 1 in to increase the balance bar damaged from your ranged weapons or reduce the recoil. Totally up to you. But you want to get to this because this increases headshot damage by 25%. Yeah, it means you got to be a bit more accurate, but whatever. This game, fear is a bastard, and I have put 3 points into this. You could remove this and put it somewhere else. I mean, you could even put it into this, but the reason I wouldn't is because most of the time you're fighting, I would say, fairly close range. You're not really, there's no sniper in the game. Yeah, there's longer ranged weapons that do a lot of damage, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. You're usually fighting in quite a small area, especially with the objectives later in the game. Like the Kandarian dagger and is it the actual page of a book or something? I can't remember what it's called. I wouldn't even bother with this stuff. Nah, if you want to go for just max damage, you should then put 1 point into this, but you could put more. This increases your maximum stamina. Really important as a hunter. You want to be able to dodge. Now, and then I've gone 1 into this to get to this. So this is just picking stuff up quicker. It's not really that important. But you want to put stuff into this. Now, I will talk about these two because I think they might stack, but I'm not entirely sure. although it's only going to affect really one distant threshold. But you know, still nice to have extra damage. This is deadly from a distance, increases ranged weapon damage when targets are farther than a certain distance. So you've got extra damage when they're over 10 meters. And this one, you got extra damage when they're 5, and then 5 again, which is 10. So I'm assuming they stack. So here, you get 5% extra damage for 10 meters. Here, you get 15% extra damage for 10 meters. So I'm assuming it's 20, right? Quick math. That's an assumption, but it just basically means you are dealing a lot of damage all the time, no matter where you are. This just reduces the stamina cost of dodging. You know, you could put these points into this if you wanted. You know, might be better at min-maxing. This is just a waste. You know, your last bullet of your gun can do up to 30% extra if you put 4 points in. That's just relying too much on, well, you know, your last bullet, not worth it. This is kind of cool. When I first played, I did put some into this, but I think and this is all melee, so I wouldn't even bother. Well, yeah, these two are melee. I don't think it's worth it. The thing is, there is like a warrior class, and that is kind of dedicated to melee damage. So just pick a freaking warrior if you want to do melee, in my opinion. So this really is just damage, 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 headshots where possible. Like, where does she stand on a tier list compared to the others? I have no idea. I've only really played her. But a couple of things, a couple of little tips, I guess, in the game. Pick up ammo, like all ammo that you see. If you're playing with at least one other person, ask them to kind of do the same. And if you're running out of ammo for the gun you have, you could ask them for more. Or what I find is sort of mid-game, near like the end of the game, I want to make sure that I've got a weapon with a decent amount of ammo, because it's hard to find weapons in like the very later stages. You know, when you get to the 3 dudes where you have to press a, you know, zap them like Ghostbusters style. I do play this game. I don't know the names of them, even though I watch the show. Whatever. So yeah, like, it isn't always easy for late game objectives, if you know, to find a weapon. So make sure before you get to late game, have a weapon with a decent amount of ammo. That's pretty much it. You know, you can carry a lot of ammo, so switch it up, and hopefully your teammates will drop ammo for you. That's kind of it. Oh, I just wanted to show, what was it? So one of the first things, this is not when I made the build, because you're thinking, wow, this damage is really low. This is just when I started trying some stuff out. I was like, wow, this is really strong. And then a few games, like, the difference there is pretty crazy. And on this one, even though I lost this one, but 68k to like 20 is pretty good. You know, it is what it is. If you think there's a better build for like ranged, leave a comment, because actually I would kind of like to know myself. I hope that was helpful, because like I say, I couldn't really find many videos on a good build for her. Yeah, and just I'm really enjoying the game. It's pretty fun. I'll probably try out some other characters later, but yeah, have fun with the game, guys, and hope this guide helped.